On this journey of personal discovery, the teachings of the Stoics are like a reliable compass to face sadness and discouragement. Amid life's upheavals, there is a voice that reminds us, happiness is within us. As Epictetus said, let us dive into an ocean of deep reflections anchored in 10 secrets of ancient wisdom. We reinforce these teachings with inspiring examples from the nature around us. Understand that you deserve to be happy, so we are always looking to constantly bring you content to help you become stronger on this journey. Do you want to be happy every day? Then comment on this video the following sentence: I am happy. Say this phrase every day, especially in the morning. Get motivated, be happy, live. And now I invite you, if you are not yet subscribed to this channel, subscribe. Come be part of this enriching community full of wisdom. And don't forget to contribute your like so that this video reaches more people and helps them. Now I want to tell you the first precious secret to free yourself once and for all from the sadness and discouragement that plagues the soul. Acceptance of what cannot be changed. Acceptance of what cannot be changed is one of the deepest secrets to overcoming sadness and discouragement. As Epictetus teaches us, keep in mind that it is not events that upset people, but their opinions about them. This quote invites us to reflect on the importance of accepting circumstances we cannot change and finding inner peace through changing our perspective. Imagine yourself in an open field where the sun sets over the horizon, painting the sky with golden and orange tones. In this moment of tranquility and beauty, you find yourself in a state of acceptance, recognizing that life is full of events that are beyond our control, but that we can choose how to react to them. Just like the cycle of seasons, each season brings its own characteristics and natural changes, and even though we may prefer one season, we cannot prevent the others from arriving. We learn to accept and appreciate each season, recognizing that it is part of the natural cycle of life. In everyday life, accepting what cannot be changed involves learning to deal with adversities and challenges in a calm and balanced way. This does not mean resignation or passivity, but rather a conscious approach that allows us to focus on what we can and let go of what is beyond our influence. Now imagine a mighty river that follows its course through mountains and valleys, encountering obstacles along the way, such as rocks and waterfalls. This river teaches us a valuable lesson about accepting what cannot be changed. When it encounters a rock in its path, the river does not despair or try to suddenly divert its trajectory. Instead, it gently contours around the rock, adapting to its presence without losing its strength or essence. The river shows us that, like it, we can learn to flow with life's circumstances, working around obstacles with grace and adaptability. The lesson that the river brings us is the importance of accepting the challenges and limitations that we encounter on our path. We can't always remove the rocks that come our way, but we can learn to deal with them wisely and resiliently. Accepting what cannot be changed does not mean resignation, but rather an attitude of wisdom that allows us to find creative solutions and move forward with determination. Therefore, when we contemplate the example of the river that runs around the rocks in its course, we are inspired to cultivate acceptance of what cannot be changed in our lives. By doing this, we find an inner freedom that helps us overcome sadness and discouragement, allowing us to flow with life in a lighter and more serene way. At the heart of Stoicism, we find a pearl of wisdom. Wherever there is a human being, there is an opportunity for kindness. This phrase highlights the importance of directing our focus to what is within our reach, especially in the context of human interactions and the practice of kindness. Imagine yourself in a vast field where the sun sets over the horizon and paints the sky with golden and orange tones. In this scenario, every human being is like a star that shines with the light of kindness. Just as stars light up the night sky, our acts of kindness can illuminate the world around us, creating an environment of compassion, empathy, and generosity. Remember a beehive. Inside this hive, the bees work in harmony, cooperating with each other to build and protect the honeycomb. Each bee plays a unique role, and contributes to the well-being of the colony. Likewise, when we focus on what we can control, we can cultivate harmonious relationships and practice kindness in our daily interactions. When we adopt an opportunity-focused mindset for kindness, we recognize that every encounter with another human being is a chance to make a difference, whether through a kind smile, a word of encouragement, or a gesture of help. No matter how small our action, it can have a significant impact on someone else's life and contribute to a more compassionate and supportive world. Now imagine an ancient forest where imposing trees stand majestically. Within this grove, there is a tree known as the tree of compassion. This tree, with its generous branches and vibrant leaves, represents the essence of kindness and compassion that we can cultivate in our lives. In the shade of the tree of compassion, we found a group of wild deer. Despite their fearful and cautious nature, deer share a bond of mutual care. When one of the deer is injured or weakened, the others rally to protect it and offer comfort. This inspiring example reflects the opportunity for kindness in our own human interactions. Just as deer show compassion for one another, we can learn to reach out to those who need support and comfort. Every moment of our lives is an opportunity to practice kindness and make a positive difference in someone else's life. A simple act of kindness, like listening carefully to someone who is struggling, can make a deep and lasting impact. When we draw on Stoic wisdom and inspiring examples from nature, we can become agents of kindness and compassion in our world. When we focus on what we can control, our words, actions, and attitudes, we can create an environment of love and compassion around us, transforming lives and making our world a more welcoming and human place. And so, overcoming sadness and discouragement day after day. 3. Practice the virtue of courage. Practicing the virtue of courage is one of the fundamental secrets to overcoming sadness and discouragement, as Seneca teaches us. What scares us is not the thing itself, but the judgment we make of it. This profound statement leads us to reflect on the nature of fear and how our perceptions and judgments can influence our emotions and actions. Imagine yourself standing in front of an imposing cliff, overlooking a deep and challenging valley. The first reaction to this scenario may be fear and hesitation. However, when we look more closely, we realize that the fear is not in the height of the cliff itself, but in the judgment we make about the situation. Courage is not the absence of fear, but rather the ability to face our fears with determination and wisdom. Courage is like the majestic flight of an eagle. When this eagle prepares to fly, it does not allow fear to stop it from taking flight and reaching great heights. She is confident in her abilities and faces challenging winds with courage and determination. Likewise, when we practice courage, we can overcome the challenges that arise in our lives, soaring beyond the self-imposed limitations of everyday life. The practice of courage manifests itself in moments when we face our inner fears, be it the fear of the unknown, the fear of failure, or the fear of change. When we recognize that fear is in our minds and that we can choose how to react to it, we gain the ability to act courageously in the face of adversity. Imagine a small seed, seemingly fragile and insignificant, that is planted in fertile soil. This seed represents our dreams and aspirations, while the earth symbolizes the challenges and obstacles we face throughout life. As the seed grows, it faces difficulties such as lack of water, arid soil, and harsh weather. However, even in the face of these challenges, the seed does not give up growing. It extends its roots deep in search of nutrients, strengthens its stem to withstand strong winds, and extends its leaves toward sunlight. Over time, the tiny seed grows into a towering tree that offers shade, shelter, and fruit to everyone around it. This journey from seed to tree teaches us a powerful lesson about courage. Just as the seed faces challenges and adversities to become a majestic tree, we too can find the courage necessary to face our fears and overcome our limitations. Courage is not just the absence of fear.
but the ability to act despite fear, to persist even in the face of difficulties, and to continue growing and evolving. Therefore, when we contemplate the inspiring example of the journey from seed to tree, we are reminded of the importance of cultivating courage in our lives. Just as a small seed grows into something great, we can also transform our challenges into opportunities for growth, our fragility into strength, and our hesitation into determination. Courage allows us to face sadness and discouragement with resilience and hope, transforming obstacles into stepping stones to success and personal fulfillment. 4. Appreciation of the gift. Valuing the present is one of the fundamental secrets to overcoming sadness and discouragement, as Marco Aurelio reminds us. If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any time.
This quote invites us to reflect on the importance of living fully in the present moment and how our perceptions influence our emotional experiences. Imagine yourself in a peaceful garden where flowers bloom in vibrant colors and the air is filled with the gentle scent of plants. In this serene setting, you find yourself in a state of full presence, absorbing every detail around you with gratitude and acceptance. It is in this state of full consciousness that we can experience true inner peace and overcome sadness and discouragement. Remember the life cycle of butterflies. A butterfly doesn't care about the past or the future. It lives each moment of its existence with beauty and lightness. When we observe a butterfly flying gracefully among the flowers, we are reminded of the importance of living in the present moment, enjoying each moment as a precious gift. In everyday life, the practice of appreciating the present involves cultivating mindfulness and focusing on the here and now. Instead of worrying about what happened in the past or what might happen in the future, we learn to appreciate the present moment, recognizing its beauty and uniqueness. It helps us deal with sadness and discouragement as it allows us to find joy and meaning in the little things in life. Imagine a mountainous landscape where a river winds between the rocks and trees grow majestically on its slopes. In this scenario, there is an imposing waterfall whose waters fall with indescribable strength and beauty. The waterfall teaches us a powerful lesson about appreciating the present. When we observe a waterfall, we cannot help but be amazed by its grandeur and constant movement. Each drop of water that falls is unique. Each sound that echoes is a moment. The waterfall reminds us of the ephemerality of life and the importance of appreciating each moment as a unique and precious experience. Just as a waterfall flows without resistance, following its natural course, we can learn to flow in life, accepting its changes and challenges without excessive resistance. Valuing the present means being present in each moment, aware of our experiences, emotions, and connections with the world around us. The waterfall also teaches us about the importance of constant movement. Just as water never stops flowing, we can also seek continuous growth and personal evolution, taking advantage of each experience as an opportunity for learning and development. Therefore, when we contemplate the beauty and teachings of the waterfall, we are inspired to value the present, live fully in each moment, and find meaning and beauty even in the most challenging situations. The waterfall reminds us that life is a journey of constant flux and transformation, and that true happiness lies in the ability to appreciate and enjoy the here and now. 5. Resilience in the face of adversity. Resilience in the face of adversity is one of the most powerful secrets to overcoming sadness and discouragement, as Seneca reminds us. Pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. This quote invites us to reflect on our ability to deal with life's challenges in a resilient and conscious way, transforming pain into learning and growth. Imagine yourself in front of a rough sea, where the waves crash hard against the rocks. In this challenging scenario, resilience is like a solid rock that faces the storms without shaking. Just as the rock withstands the impact of the waves, we can learn to face life's adversities with determination and inner strength. The phoenix is a legendary bird that is reborn from its own ashes. Despite facing destruction by fire, the phoenix resurfaces with renewed vitality and beauty. This story teaches us that even in the face of the greatest difficulties, we can find the strength to rise again and move forward. In everyday life, practicing resilience involves cultivating a mindset of overcoming and learning. Instead of letting adversities weigh us down, we can see them as opportunities for personal growth and strengthening. Every challenge we face teaches us valuable lessons about our own ability to adapt and persevere. Imagine a garden that blooms in spring after a harsh winter. The colorful and fragrant flowers begin to bloom, bringing life and beauty to the environment. This garden teaches us a profound lesson about resilience. During winter, the garden faces adverse conditions such as intense cold, lack of sunlight, and even snow covering the ground. However, plants and flowers don't give up. They go through a period of dormancy, focusing their energies internally and waiting for the right moment to bloom again. When we look at the garden in spring, we see that the plant's resilience has been rewarded. They emerge with renewed vitality, showing the world their beauty and determination to survive hardship. This example from nature reminds us that just like plants, we can also go through difficult times and still flourish in life. We face emotional winters and challenges that test us. Resilience allows us to get through these difficult periods and emerge stronger on the other side. When we cultivate resilience, we learn to adapt to change, find creative solutions to problems, and maintain our hope and determination, even in the darkest moments. So when we look at the garden that blooms after winter, we are inspired to embrace resilience in our own lives. Just as plants find the strength to overcome adversity and flourish again, we can find in ourselves the ability to rise, grow, and prosper, even in the face of life's storms. Resilience shows us that pain is temporary, but our ability to recover is infinite. 6. Practice emotional self-reliance. The practice of emotional self-sufficiency is one of the essential secrets to overcoming sadness and discouragement, as Epicurus reminds us. The greatest wealth is the freedom of the soul. This quote highlights the importance of cultivating a solid internal connection and emotional independence that allows us to find peace and contentment within ourselves. Imagine yourself in a peaceful woodland where sunlight filtering through the trees creates a serene and welcoming atmosphere. In this scenario, you find yourself in a state of emotional self-sufficiency, where your happiness and well-being do not depend on external circumstances, but rather on your own ability to find inner harmony. Remember the oak. The oak is a robust and resilient tree whose deep roots provide it with stability, even in the face of the strongest winds. Like the oak, we can cultivate deep emotional roots that help us remain strong amid life's adversities. In everyday life, practicing emotional self-reliance involves developing an awareness of self, recognizing and accepting our emotions without relying excessively on the approval or influence of others to feel complete. This does not mean isolating yourself emotionally, but rather cultivating healthy relationships based on reciprocity and mutual respect. Now imagine a solitary bird flying through the open skies, free and independent. This bird teaches us a valuable lesson about emotional self-reliance. Despite facing the challenges of strong wind and storms, he trusts his own abilities to fly and find his way. The bird does not seek its happiness or security in external circumstances. He finds his freedom in the ability to adapt, to overcome obstacles, and to move forward without depending on what is outside himself. Likewise, emotional self-sufficiency invites us to find our inner freedom, not conditioned by the incessant search for external validation or the need for control over situations. It is as if we become the bird that flies freely, relying on our own inner strength to face life's challenges. The lesson that the bird teaches us is that true wealth is not in material possessions or the approval of others, but rather in the freedom of the soul, in the ability to be complete and happy for ourselves, regardless of external circumstances. Therefore, when we contemplate the image of the lonely bird flying through the skies, We are inspired to cultivate emotional self-reliance in our lives. Just as the bird finds its strength in trusting itself, we can discover a source of inner power that allows us to face sadness and discouragement with courage, serenity, and authenticity. 7. Cultivation of gratitude. Cultivating gratitude is one of the most powerful secrets to overcoming sadness and discouragement, as actress Ingrid Bergman reminds us in her phrase, "Happiness is good health and a bad memory." Although not a quote from a Stoic, the idea of cultivating gratitude is widely highlighted by them as a key to a full and meaningful life. Imagine yourself in a vast and peaceful field where the sun sets below the horizon, painting the sky with golden and pink tones. In this moment of stillness and contemplation, you connect with gratitude for the small wonders of life, the beauty of nature, the presence of loved ones, the health that allows you to experience each moment. The sunrise. Every morning, the sun rises over the horizon, bringing light and warmth to the world. When we observe this spectacle of nature, we are reminded of the importance of recognizing and appreciating the blessings we receive daily, even in the simplest circumstances in life. In everyday life, cultivating gratitude involves practicing mindfulness and reflecting on the positive things we have in our lives. Instead of focusing on difficulties or what we lack, we learn to value what we already have and express gratitude for it. This does not mean ignoring challenges, but rather cultivating a more positive and hopeful outlook. Now imagine a garden of different flowers, each with its own unique color and beauty. Among these flowers, a modest wildflower stands out, small and discreet, but radiant in its happiness. This flower teaches us a profound lesson about cultivating gratitude. While many people admire the most showy and exuberant flowers, the wildflower does not seek external attention or recognition. It simply grows where it is planted, absorbing sunlight and rainwater, and in return, offering its simple beauty to the world. This flower shows us that true gratitude lies in the ability to value what we have, even if it is considered modest in the eyes of others. An inspiring example of life that reflects gratitude is the gesture of a close friend, who even in the most difficult times offers unconditional support and a shoulder to lean on. This simple but deeply meaningful gesture reminds us of the importance of recognizing and thanking the people who are by our side, supporting us and encouraging us to move forward. By practicing gratitude, we learn to look beyond external circumstances and value the little things that often go unnoticed. Gratitude teaches us to see the beauty in simplicity and find joy in small achievements, as well as expressing appreciation for the people and experiences that enrich our lives. Therefore, when we contemplate the modest wildflower and the sincere gesture of a friend, we are inspired to cultivate gratitude in our lives, just as the wildflower blooms in its simplicity, and the friend offers his support without expecting reward. We can find true happiness when we recognize and give thanks for the blessings we receive, transforming sadness into gratitude and discouragement into hope and renewal through detachment from external things. Detachment from external things is one of the deepest secrets to overcoming sadness and discouragement, as Epictetus teaches us. If you care about something beyond your reason, then you become its slave. This quote invites us to reflect on the importance of not becoming excessively attached to material things, other people's opinions, or external circumstances, in order to find our true inner peace. Imagine yourself in a setting of majestic mountains, where a stream runs gently between the rocks, reflecting the sunlight. In this environment, you find yourself in a state of detachment from the worries and anxieties that often afflict us, learning to appreciate the beauty of nature without becoming attached to it, recognizing that true happiness comes from within. Remember a leaf that gently falls from a tree in autumn. The leaf does not cling to the tree or its place. It simply follows the natural course of things, accepting its transience and flowing with life. Just like the leaf, we can learn to let go of the ties that bind us to the past, future expectations and concerns, finding freedom in accepting the present moment in everyday life. Detachment from external things involves cultivating a mentality of detachment in relation to material possessions, the opinions of others, and situations that are beyond our control. This does not mean disinterest or indifference, but rather a way of finding inner peace, recognizing that our true essence is not in the things we possess, but rather in the way we choose to live and think. Imagine a delicate butterfly emerging from its cocoon after a long period of transformation. The butterfly teaches us a profound lesson about detachment from external things. During its chrysalis phase, the butterfly goes through an intense metamorphosis, leaving behind its previous form and transforming into something completely new. She does not cling to her old identity, but embraces the process of change and renewal. When it finally emerges as a butterfly, it flies freely, without carrying the weight of the previous cocoon. Likewise, detachment from external things invites us to leave behind old identities, negative emotions, and unnecessary worries. Just as the butterfly frees itself from its cocoon, we can free ourselves from the chains that prevent us from flying high and reaching our full potential. The lesson of the butterfly is that true transformation and growth happen when we let go of what no longer serves us, allowing new opportunities and experiences to enter our lives, renewing us and allowing us to flourish in an authentic and free way. The search for inner tranquility is one of the deepest secrets to overcoming sadness and discouragement. As Seneca teaches us, "He who is not his own master is the slave of another." This quote leads us to reflect on the importance of cultivating control over our own emotions and thoughts to achieve true inner peace. Imagine yourself in a serene lake where the water surface reflects the blue sky and surrounding trees. In this scenario, you find yourself in a state of deep serenity, where everyday worries and anxieties dissipate. You learn to find inner calm by not allowing external emotions to affect you negatively. An inspiring example from nature that reflects the search for inner tranquility is the gentle movement of a tree's leaves in the wind. Despite external adversities and turbulence, the tree maintains its tranquility, flexing gently without breaking. Just like the tree, we can learn to maintain our inner calm even in the face of life's storms. In everyday life, the search for inner tranquility involves practicing self-discipline, mindfulness, and accepting what we cannot control. This does not mean avoiding emotions or challenges, but rather developing the ability to respond in a balanced and conscious way to the situations we face. Now imagine a starry night where the sky lights up with thousands of twinkling stars. In this setting of beauty and tranquility, you find yourself in a state of deep connection with the universe, perceiving the grandeur and harmony that permeate the cosmos. This scene teaches us a valuable lesson about the search for inner tranquility. When we contemplate the starry sky, we are reminded of the vastness of the universe and our smallness in the face of its immensity. This humble awareness helps us put our everyday problems and concerns into perspective, allowing us to find inner tranquility in recognizing that we are part of something bigger and broader. Therefore, when we integrate the search for inner tranquility into our lives, inspired by the grandeur of the universe, we can discover a source of peace and harmony that resides within ourselves, helping us overcome sadness and discouragement and allowing us to live in a better way, fuller and more meaningful. The practice of temperance and moderation is one of the most powerful secrets for overcoming sadness and discouragement, as Cicero teaches us. To live, do not live to eat. This quote reminds us of the importance of cultivating balance in our actions and choices, avoiding excesses and seeking a harmonious life in all aspects. Imagine yourself in a lush garden where flowers bloom in vibrant colors and ripe fruits hang from tree branches. In this scenario of abundance and harmony, you find yourself in a state of temperance and moderation, enjoying the simple pleasures of life without falling into the trap of excess. An inspiring example from nature that reflects the practice of temperance and moderation is the water of a stream that flows gently between the rocks. The water follows its natural course without rushing or excess, finding the perfect balance between strength and softness. Just like water in a stream, we can learn to flow through life in moderation, avoiding extremes that can lead to emotional and spiritual imbalance. In everyday life, the practice of temperance and moderation involves making conscious and balanced choices regarding food, work, relationships, and all areas of life. This does not mean depriving yourself of pleasures, but rather enjoying them in a moderate and conscious way, avoiding excesses that can lead to discouragement and dissatisfaction. Now imagine a leafy tree growing in the middle of an open field, its deep, strong roots supporting it against strong winds and storms. This tree teaches us a valuable lesson about practicing temperance and moderation during the different seasons. The tree adapts to climate change, growing in a balanced and moderate way. She doesn't seek to grow too fast or accumulate more than she needs. Instead, she follows the natural rhythm of life, finding the perfect balance between growth and stability. An inspiring example from life that reflects the practice of temperance and moderation is the example of a person who maintains a healthy and balanced lifestyle. This person eats consciously, exercises regularly, takes care of their mental and emotional health, and maintains balanced and meaningful relationships. Just like the tree that grows in a moderate and balanced way, we can learn to live our lives in a conscious and balanced way when we practice temperance and moderation in all areas of our lives, avoiding excesses and seeking a healthy balance. We find inner peace and satisfaction that help us overcome sadness and discouragement. Then imagine the firm and balanced tree as an example of moderate and conscious living. It inspires us to follow the path of temperance and moderation, finding lasting joy in living in harmony with ourselves and the world around us. Now, we close these reflections to cheer you up on this day. I hope this video was valuable to you, helping you find happiness and daily fulfillment. Remember, difficulties can strengthen us, making us more resilient. And also remember, no suffering is eternal. We can overcome bad days, sadness, and discouragement. I hope this video motivated you. If so, leave your like so that more people can benefit from these reflections. Also, share your thoughts in the comments, helping to encourage others. And if you're not registered yet, don't forget to sign up. Here on your screen are some videos that I recommend that will add even more knowledge to you, so go watch them. See you soon.